Welcome back to another day of IBN's 12 Days of Bourbon Hunting. Sarah.
Today we have Maker's Cellar Aged.
That's right.
Very festive.
Yeah, the second edition of the Cellar Aged. And we've,
Oh my gosh.
we've not reviewed this one yet. So.
We have not. 119.3 proof, and it is 15% of a 12-year and 85% of a 13-year.
Yeah, now that has really shifted from last year, where the majority of it was the 11-year, and the little bit of it was the 12-year.
Right.
So now it's the other way, it's the 13 years the majority, which is awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
$175 MSRP, so that is up there. Now, we saw it at one store when we were hunting, and what they want, $400 for it?
Yeah, they did. One of those stores where they'll pretty much have whatever you're looking for, but it's nothing that you want to actually pay for.
Nothing that you want to spend, yeah.
So yeah, we did find it there. Now, we were lucky enough to get this in our Maker's, what do they call it?
We're signed up for this thing called the Maker's Drop.
Maker's Drop.
It's only in like select areas. Obviously, we're in Kentucky. They're in Kentucky, so sorry. So it came in that subscription box, which was nice. So we didn't have to hunt for it because it came in the box, which we're signed up for. But when we were out hunting, we did see it. And it's always good to see what things are going for out in the wild.
Yeah, if you have watched, what was that? The Old Forester birthday bourbon episode, you see the Cellar Age there in the corner. I knew that we were getting it, or we'd already gotten it in the Maker's Drop, so I didn't like zoom in and focus on it. But it's there.
It is.
It's there, but that was limit 1. So I was like, well, I don't have the birthday bourbon, so obviously I'm getting that.
Get that.
So, yeah.
We also had a chance to try this at the St. Louis Bourbon Festival.
Oh, yeah.
It was offered at the Beam tent during VIP hour. However, we got there too late and it was already gone.
So I don't even have footage of the empty bottle.
Nope. And so we didn't taste it there either.
But here's a Hearts release bottle.
Yeah, look at that.
Hey, look at that. Okay.
Just to prove to you, we were there.
We were there. Here's today's newspaper. Get to nosing. Now that's an interesting Maker's nose. This is now the oldest Makers that we will have nosed and are getting ready to try.
It smells so syrupy to me, and I mean that in the way of like, I make chocolate chip pecan pie for, it's actually on our blog, on our website if you want to find it, but bourbon chocolate chip pecan pie for the holidays, and you use the dark corn syrup for the filling, and this smells like once that's baked, what that comes to be, you know, in the mix with the sugar and the syrup, and
For me, it's sort of smelling breakfast foods, like breakfast sweetness foods, if that makes sense. But there's definitely a sweetness there. I'm gonna say melty caramel, and people are gonna be like, what's the difference? But that's just sort of what's coming to mind.
Caramel.
Melty caramel, yeah. All right, to your health. Whoa, caramel. Also, is the star.
First pour of the day, so I'm gonna need a second. I get that, you know, the oak from the 12 and 13 year, yeah, but still desserty, sweet notes. Again, like that pecan pie filling. I also get like a hint of coffee, almost like a sweetened latte or something, some cafe beverage.
I'm not picking that up, and I'm glad, because I don't enjoy that. But it does. So yeah, the palate is like straight on those square caramel candies that I can't think of any brand name.
Chewy
of it.
caramels?
Yeah. But then as the finish starts to set in, the oak really starts to take over more. It almost goes a little bit tannic or
yeah.
But
it's just a tiny bit of like bitter oak.
Yeah, a little
oversteeped
bit of oversteeped tea, exactly. Not in an unpleasant way. And
it's a lot of oak.
Settling down into a really good finish. Now 119.3 is high for Makers.
I was gonna say, I think that this is the highest proof, one of the highest proof Makers we've ever had.
Well, they had that series where they did the different barrel entry proofs, so we
right.
had the 125, the 120, 115.
Sure, but I'm just saying one of the highest.
Yeah, because normally a cask strength's around 108 to 112.
Right, so this is one of the highest proofs that we've ever had for Makers. And also the highest age, or one of the highest ages, with the 12 and 13 in there. This is the most oak I think I've ever gotten on a Maker's product.
It's the most different of an animal for a Maker's product that we've ever tasted. And we haven't had our second sip.
I did.
Second sip Sarah did, but...
Of course I did.
Slow and steady Chad hasn't gone in for that second one yet. And I'm not gonna. until I tell you about our home on the internet. It's whiskyambitions.com. Did you know we have a pocket tee? Yes, that has, what's on the back, Sarah?
It says our logo.
Okay, it says our logo. It just says our logo in
Just
text.
says our logo. Put your logo
Your
here.
logo here in text. So the t-shirt, the whiskey weather sweater.
Sweater weather.
Yeah, hard to say.
Two
Hat.
colors.
The Glencairns we're drinking from, of course, our Elemental Elixir cocktail syrup is there, along with all of our bottle cut candles and more at whiskyambitions.com.
And you can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight and join our community for as little as $1 a month. And there's no water. Oopsies. And that's where you can help us remember that we should get water. And that's where you also get access to barrel picks and after the episode exclusives and more stuff.
All right, we'll be right back. Well, I'm glad it's not super hot because
there's no water.
We don't have any water.
We forgot our waters.
But
that doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. Actually, it might be a first.
That wasn't on my Bourbon Night bingo card for today.
2024, because it's still 2024. Yeah, I'm really liking the mouthfeel on this. Very rich, viscous, that caramel, transitioning over into oak, more on the finish. Nice little heat, but not too much on the palate, and then also into the chest feels.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like the desserty notes of it, and I do like parts of the oak experience on this one. It is a little oaky for me, and I don't know if that's just because of the age with the cellar age treatment.
And the foolproof.
And the foolproof, I'm not really sure. For me, like 175, I don't know. There might be other bottles I would choose over this one just because of my personal oak preferences. However, good luck finding this at, MSRP. I hope you do. But
yeah,
well, you said you saw it at Costco.
I did, yeah.
Man, Costco's the star of the series.
It really is, and that's such a
not on my bingo card. Yeah.
But I feel like this has gone up around $50 from the release. I want to say
it's gone up.
It was around 120, 130 the first release. It's gone up, as has everything, I guess. But Makers typically doesn't go in this direction. Like, you look at their wood finishing series, they were around $80 at the most.
Yeah.
60 to $80. Well, I guess they call those LEs, but this is a true LE for them.
Right.
And I think they're just taking up that opportunity to price it as an LE, which a little bit unfortunate, but I can't fault them from a business standpoint, but from a consumer standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is doing it. I mean, it is,
Right.
again, like we said, one of the highest proof things and the oldest things that they've put out. So I can understand them being like, this is our super premium offering. For me personally, I enjoyed the wood finishing series so much that I might choose that and save the money and get another bottle, or just save the money versus going after this. This is a great product, just my personal preference. I love the wood finishing series, so I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's definitely the value.
Yeah.
For sure. And I do love being able to experience older aged makers because that's just never been available. So I do appreciate that. And I do, just from memory, think that I like this version much better than last year's first version.
I don't know.
Would have to try blind, of course. We always say that.
We do.
But let's also talk about, in case you're not familiar, why it's called Cellar Age. So if you've been to the Maker's Mark campus in Laredo, Kentucky, they have a cellar, basically, that they have dug out of a little bit of a cliff. So it's a sort of a man-made, but also nature-made cellar, if that makes sense. It stays between between mid-50s, low 60s in that.
I think maybe even in the 40s. I don't know.
Yeah, somewhere.
It's cool.
It's cool, and it stays that temperature year-round because it's like going down into a cave or a mine or that type of thing. And that's where these barrels spend some of their life.
They spend a portion of the years, from my understanding,
in the regular warehouse,
and then
they're
get
brought
moved
into the cellar for additional aging. We don't call it finishing, but additional aging.
They retired to the cellar for cigars and brandy.
They retired to the cellar. Exactly. I'm really liking it. I just wish the price was a little bit better because I feel like that really is Maker's strong point. In the industry, what sort of makes them stand out from others.
But I get it.
But I do get it, and I do like it. Glad we have a bottle. I'm glad it was delivered to our doorstep.
That was nice, even though you did get the chance at Costco, but I think that was rare, you know, to have a chance at MSRP out in the wild, just like sitting there.
Yeah.
What a day that was.
What a day. What a day. What a day. What a day to be alive. All right. Well, that's where we better leave it. If you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. Hope to see you over there in one of those. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Sarah. See you tomorrow again. Until next time, drink more bourbon.